everybody doing?
Amazing. Please feel free to use the chat, introduce yourself, ask any questions. Please ask them to the general audience, and we'll do our best to answer them. At the end, we'll do a Q&A as well, so you'll be able to unmute and ask your questions. But let's jump into it. I think we have 50 people on the call. Thank you to the 50 people if you're on the West Coast or Pacific time zone for joining us during your lunch break, your lunch session. It's great that you all are joining us for the third application workshop. Just some housekeeping before we start. This call is being recorded and will be posted on the SIP YouTube channel. Please mute your microphone, but feel free to unmute and ask the question if you have it. We'll do some intros and then we will have, or this session will cover the intern application. We will offer one-on-one help if you need it, and then a Q&A session where we can ask questions and get through things. Do some intros first. My name is Ana Valeria, and I'm the operations coordinator for SIP, and I'm joined by my colleague, Lindsay Lover.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lindsay Lover. I use she, her pronouns. I am the CREST Associate Director, and CREST stands for Creating Equity in STEAM. And we are an umbrella initiative that seeks to engage students and the public in critical thinking in the context of STEAM research. So we have a few programs under our umbrella. SIP is one of them, of course. And then we also have our Shadow the Scientist program and our Python in Research, free online Python tutorials that we offer as well a few times a year. So I will plug some info, just our website into the chat so that you can feel free to explore the other programs under the umbrella.
Awesome. Let's get into it. So I will start off. I'm at the SIP website. I will put it into the chat as well. But sip.ucsc.edu. This gives you all the information you need about SIP. Links to join application workshops are here, key dates, videos, if you like to donate, learn more about the program. So navigating the website to apply to the program, you want to go to the program details and the application process page. So right here, the 2024 application portal, the application is now live. Was I in the... The application deadline is Sunday, March 31st. So we are 11 days away. And that's the same deadline for teacher recommendations. So whoever you listed as your teacher, please ask them or remind them to get their letter of recommendations in on time. And if you have a question or if you want to ask about the progress, you can also email us at ucsc-sip@ucsc.edu and we can let you know where you stand in your application. Okay. Quick question. Can you see the messages, Lindsay? Because I can't see the messages that are coming through.
Yeah, I can see you mean the chat?
The chat, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I can, we did have one question.
Okay.
Question
I see
was,
what the problem is.
yeah, I was wondering if the program's also available to international students. Yes, it is.
Yes. Manuela, where are you located? What country are you applying from? Feel free to put it in the chat, but we will continue. The program, yeah, just on the YouTube channel, go to SIP, just search up UCSC SIP. I can put it in the chat. So you go to YouTube, UCSC SIP, and you can find all the videos here. España? What part of España? España. Granada. Here's the chat. Mallorca. Very nice. Okay. These are previous information these are previous application sessions. These are previous information sessions. So today's the application workshop. We'll go through the application, but we can do Q&A regarding any questions you may have at the end. So let's get into it. Here's the application. The steps. It's a 3-part process. Please, step 1, complete the application in RegPack. It's a 5-part application, not too long. Step 2 would be to pay the application fee here in Iris. And then step 3 is follow up with your teacher reference. So we'll go through the process in RegPack. We take eligibility for SIP 2024. You must be 14 years of age starting on June 23rd, 2024, and you must be under 18 till the end of the program. So ages 14 to 17. That's the eligibility for SIP students. So I'm in the SIP 2024 intern application. I will create an account. My first name. I'm Test Testerson the third because this is the third workshop, and every time I use the same name. Awesome. All right. So we are in part one of the application. So regarding RegPack, red circles note mandatory fields, and you can use the progress bar above to track your progress and jump between the 4 different parts. There is an optional 5th part for financial aid that everyone can add to their application. I'll show you the check mark and how to add that. But thank you for your interest in applying to SIP 2024. There are 4 parts to this application. Please complete each part and then click the submit button at the end. Even after you click submit, you can go back in and edit the parts of your application. Again, the deadline is March 31st, 2024. Here are additional online resources, the website, FAQs, and specifically intern FAQs. If you have any emails, please feel free to email us here. So we'll get into the first part. The first part is information. And did you have something to say? Oh, okay. For some reason, you just showed up. All right. So I am located in the United States of America. My street address is 123 Beverly Hills Drive. And also, if you'd like, please feel free to start your own application and work through the application with me as I go through it. I'm in California, zip code 8.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi. I'm a medium. My high school. Current high school grade, I'm a sophomore. My applicant age, I will be 15 years of age. My birth date is February 14, 2005. Does that get me to 15? That does not get me to 15. Nope. 8. There we go. No. 9. All right, quick math on that one. Parent and guardian information. Yes, parent number 1 does live in the United States. Test. Tester. And 4th. Nope. Demographic data. Few more questions of part 1. If you are affiliated with any of our partner programs, please select it here. I have done PR in the past. That's another program under CREST, Python and research. I am not a returning SIP student. None of my siblings have participated in SIP. How did you hear about SIP? A friend. Shalom. Ethan.
Hi,
And then
Alan.
here,
Just wanted to say that I'm here.
hi Raja.
Hey,
Thanks for joining. Lindsay, if you could make Raja a co-admin just so you can help in the chat. But yeah, we're almost done with part 1. So at the end of part 1, SIP strives to provide complete financial aid and support for admitted interns so that no one is faced with opting out of SIP due to financial constraints. Interns can qualify for packages covering 25, 50, 75, or 100% of their program fees and any transportation, room, and board expenses for attending the program. And that transportation is the shuttle, if they would like to use the shuttle. If you'll be applying for need base financial aid, please click yes here. In addition, we covered this a little earlier, but there are 2 steps, the application in RegPack, and then also paying the application fee in Iris. If you need assistance and would like a fee waiver, please email ucsc-sip@ucsc.edu asking for a fee waiver, and we'll help you through there. So I will apply for financial aid, and we can save and continue to part 2. Okay, so part two asks for your academic records and a teacher reference for them to write your letter of recommendation. So in this section, you will be asked about your grades and the contact information for the reference. Please upload your most recent unofficial transcript or grade report in the space provided. If you're from an international country and you are not sure, please feel free to email us and ask if the document you are uploading is appropriate, but just try to find some equivalent document that shows your most recent grades or course, however you may track your grades. We ask for one reference, a teacher to write a letter of recommendation on your behalf. They can be a STEM or STEAM teacher, and the general advice is ask the teacher that would write the strongest letter of recommendation on your behalf. The teacher recommendation deadline is the same as the intern application deadline, so that will be Sunday, March 31st, 2024. Let's get into it. I'm a 3.8765432 student. I will upload my most recent transcript. And then information about our academic reference. So the person you select, they will receive an email with a link to their own RegPack portal. So they won't see your information, you won't see their information, but they will be able to answer a few questions and attach their letter of recommendation on your behalf. You don't need the phone number, and clicking yes here will prompt that email to be sent out right now. I will go into part 3. Part 3, this is the fun part of the application, the schedule, skills, and essays. This is where we ask about your availability this summer, and you will write a few essays about your interest in what you want to do this summer. So availability, part 1 of part 3. SIP is a 9-week program. The research prep weeks, the first 2 weeks of SIP, they are fully remote, and then 7 weeks of in-person active research. So I will be available for all 7 weeks, but you can select your availability here. We ask for you to prioritize the 7 weeks, being able to be available and in person for all 7. If you can't, please let us know. And if there is anything that comes up, please communicate with SIP staff, email us, and work with your mentor. And we'll try to come up with a plan that works for you. Part 2 is skills. This is where you can check off any skills that you may have that relate to what you're applying for. So I've done computer programming in the past. This is just extra information, doesn't really mean anything, but I will write, I have learned Python because I participated in Python and research before. Please specify any skills you would like to acquire and improve. I would like to improve all of these. And then here's another text box. If there's any additional information that you would like us to have about the skills you possess, the skills you seek to improve, or other aspects of your skill set, please share that here. So I will be like, I've attended the PR tutorial and okay. And the third part, the subject area interest essay. So we asked for you to write 2 short essays on 2 different subject areas. These are the subject areas that you would be interested in doing your research in this summer. If you go to the SIP website, you can see the 2024 research projects. There are 33 projects that are posted right now. This is an example of an astronomy and astrophysics project. The title, Identification in Faint Quasars via Spectroscopy. I don't know why I can't pronounce that. Spectroscopy. Raja, you want to go for it?
Spectroscopy.
Yeah. Of this, I need to drink some water. Of distant Milky Way Halo RR Lyrae candidates. I can read. The primary mentors is our very own Professor Raja Guhatakarta. The faculty contact is Professor Yuting Fang. This is a project that will be held in person on the UCSC main campus. There are 3 interns. The project description, tasks. So 33 projects are posted, but let's say you're interested in doing research in economics. An economics project is not posted yet, or let's say a history project is not posted yet. A good source would be to look at the 2023 research projects page, and you can see the projects that we've held in the past. That is why we're not asking for you to apply for a specific project. We're asking for you to apply to a subject area that you're interested in doing research in. If you go back to the application, please select your number 1 area of research interest. I will select history. And then here you have a space to write. We ask you to write a short essay on why you're interested in this research area. And it's a short essay, so it would be 200 words or less. This is a small text box and it will not save. We recommend that you write your essay, edit it, take your time with it, do it in another word processor, whether it's a Microsoft Word, Notes, or Google Doc, but you can work on that and then copy and paste it in here. For tutorial purposes, I'm just gonna write test. I'm interested in a mathematical project, test. And then you have the opportunity to select additional research subject areas that you would be interested in. We don't ask for more subject essays or subject area essays, but let's say you're also interested in an economics project and a music project, you can list that here. The final part of part 3 is a personal statement. So this is a slightly longer essay, 500 words, but this is essentially for us to get to know you a little bit better and why you want to participate in SIP. So take your time. That question is, as a SIP intern, you will be conducting and contributing to cutting edge research. This process is inherently fraught with challenges that may ultimately lead to no results. What do you hope to gain by participating in research if selected as a SIP intern? What experiences, skills, and/or resources do you have to overcome these potential challenges? Okay, so save, and we will continue on to the last part of the application, or second to last if you're also applying for financial aid. So this is the section where you certify everything that you are submitting in the application and also reading the FAQs and the applicant FAQs just so you understand all the guidelines and what you're signing up for SIP. So the application is not complete until this form is submitted. Please take the time, click on the FAQs page, read through it, click on the other links and read through it. For some reason. Okay, so my application is complete. Awesome. Reviewed the SIP intern FAQs. Awesome. Permission to review the application materials. Great. The deadline. Awesome. And then here's where we ask for e-sign authorization. I agree. And you can submit your application here. Accept. Awesome. All right, so the 4 parts are complete. And in part 1, I opted to add the additional 5th part, the financial aid application. It's super short. On this form, we ask for you to upload a copy of your most recent federal tax forms, so the 2023 federal tax forms. Or if you do not have US federal tax documents, please upload an equivalent. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email us and we'll work with you on trying to make sure that it's an appropriate document. Please black out any personal information. More information can be found in the FAQ page, but we ask, what is the annual AGI, the adjusted gross income of your household? What is the size, total number of people in your household? If you would like to add any more information, here's your here's a space for you to do it. And then we would ask for you to upload the documents here. And then you can submit. Very cool. All right, so as you can see, my application, 5 parts, they're all green. We are at 100%. We are complete. Well, that was the SIP intern application RegPack. If we go back to the website, so that was part 1. Now we will want to go to part 2, pay the application fee. So access the Iris payment portal by clicking either on the button at the top or here on the link. It's important to note that the payment portal is different than the RegPack application portal. You will have to create a new account, a separate account. We recommend that we ask you to use the same email and password that you've used in RegPack. Sometimes we run into the issue where the student, the student that is applying, will use their email and password for RegPack in the application, and the parent will use their email and password for the payment portal. So just try to get ahead of that and try to use the same information, the student's information in both. If you've applied in previous years, please feel free to click forgot my password and you can reset your password. And then again, we ask for a non-refundable $60 application fee. If you need financial support or would like a fee waiver, please email us and we'll work with you to get that. So let's run through that real quick. So you would click on the button. Don't have an account, sign up, register for an Iris account. So I will do it. No. Okay. Really? That's great. Maybe the email has been used before. I doubt, but there we go. All right. Very cool. Let's try that. Sign in the Iris account. Woohoo! We are in. So this is the first part. Please save the login credentials you've just created. Now we ask for your information again, as it is a separate system. Very cool. Awesome. And now billing address. Okay. So now we are where we want to be. We can see the charges, we can see our information. In our shopping cart, the $60 application fee has automatically been been added. If you have a coupon code, please email us, and then you can, once you receive it, you can add it here, click apply, and it should clear. If you want to pay the $60 application fee, please click continue to checkout, and then you could add your payment information here, and you should be able to pay now, and then you'll be good to go. So that was the payment part. So parts 1 and part 2, please complete both parts by March 31st at 12, and you should be good to go. And also, please follow up with your teacher reference at any time, and also email us if you want to ask us on the progress of your teacher's letter recommendation. That was the application workshop, and we can jump into Q&A and go from there.
And then there was a question, and if you've already shared this and I just misheard it or didn't hear, let me know. But somebody asked if they request a fee waiver, how long before they receive the waiver to be able to use it?
You should receive it in 24 to 48 hours. It's a quick turnaround. And also, if you don't receive it in that time frame, just email us again. Email might have been missed. Okay. Thank you for raising your hand, Eric. We can do it this way too, but I do see that there are like a lot of messages on the chat. Should we go through the chat as well? Or should we just
Lindsay
write?
and I have been doing our best to answer
Okay.
questions on the chat in real time, right, Lindsay?
Yeah, I think many of them are answered. If you asked a question in the chat and it didn't get answered, please ask it now. Like raise your hand and
Yeah,
ask it.
just raise your hand and we'll get to you. But thank you. Great work, team. Eric, please unmute and
Thank
feel
you
free
for
to ask your
taking my
question.
call. Yeah, so under recommender section, it says
Yes.
your reference must be a STEM/STEAM or
Yes.
social science teacher or mentor. So the STEAM, that means the STEAM, the A means
Yeah.
art.
Yes.
Yes.
The art teacher can also be a recommender, right?
That's correct.
So, so my daughter asked her a media concept class teacher to write a recommendation letter. Is that considered as a art STEAM or
Absolutely.
is something else? It is STEAM, right?
Yes.
That's correct.
I remember in previous lecture, it was mentioned that any teacher from any discipline will be okay to write a reference letter. It doesn't need to be a STEM or STEAM teacher. I don't know whether.
That's correct. We were using STEAM to mean all encompassing, but really social sciences would be fine too.
Okay, so what if the student is applying for a science major, for example, biology, but ask for an art teacher write a recommendation letter? Is that still acceptable?
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
Okay, so as long as the teacher knows the personality of the student, write good recommendation doesn't need to be in the same area.
Exactly.
The person
I
is applying.
think you hit the nail on the head. Someone who knows the student well and who can speak to their strengths would be fine.
Okay.
Excellent
you.
question. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Okay. Evan?
Hi, so I asked my teacher, or I sent the letter of recommendation request form through the online portal to my teacher, but she wasn't able to receive it. Is there
she-
another way I could send it, or could I send it to a non-school domain email?
Yes, you can. Did she check her spam folder?
Yeah, she checked her spam and her other like categories, and she couldn't find it.
You
Can
know,
you-
some school, I'm sorry, Anand, sorry to jump in. I think some school domains will block emails. So yeah, it's a good idea to try Gmail.
Okay.
Or just, if you email us again, let us know and we can manually prompt the application to resend out that email. So we can try that on your behalf. But yeah, just email us. So we
Okay.
can just make sure that the email gets to her.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Evan. Anna? You are muted. Anna, go on once. Oh, no worries. Would you like to type out your question? Oh, okay. We can come back to you. Rajesh?
Yeah, I think the question I asked is you talked about the financial aid, right?
Yeah.
So is there any merit-based scholarship other than the financial aid?
I was just typing an answer to your question, Rajesh. And no, you know, when students are admitted on the basis of merit, and but need is the only criterion for financial assistance. And by need, we mean family income divided by the number of dependents.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, do you have any references from the past or any guidelines that who would be eligible for that scholarship? And is it something that you can share?
Absolutely.
Based on that, we can gauge whether we will be eligible or not.
Yeah, absolutely. We take, Anand and Lindsay, I don't know if you've talked about this earlier because I joined a little late, but should I just jump
Not
in?
on this call. Yeah, please go for it.
So we take the US dollar equivalent of the family's annual income, actually the household income, and the US dollar equivalent of that, let's say for 2023, that's the most recent tax year. We divide that by the number of people listed on the tax form as dependents, so including the earning members of the family and the non-earning members of the family. And it's that ratio that determines need-based eligibility. Now, there could be extenuating circumstances beyond those, and we offer, a section where an applicant can talk about that. There's a loss of a job, for example, or some other change in family circumstances. People can include those. But that ratio, which is household income divided by the number of dependents, we're looking for, if that number is, let's say, over 50,000 US dollars per person per year, then generally a student is not eligible for need-based financial aid. If it's under, let's say, 40,000 US dollars per person per year, then in general, that person would be eligible for close to full financial aid or partial financial aid. Does that help?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it is determining that the person will get a 100% scholarship or a 25% scholarship, right? Is that also dependent upon this number, total
Yes.
income by the,
Yes.
okay.
And I should say that there is only a narrow range over which students receive partial assistance. Most students either receive 100% aid when they do receive it, or they don't receive it at all.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you.
Andrew, did you have a question for us? Thank you, Rajesh. That's great.
Thank you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a question. Generally for my essays, should I just answer them directly, specifically for the personal statement, or should I just and basically write out my resume, or should I show and not tell?
Question.
We don't ask for a resume as part of the application. We really want to understand you, the applicant, or we want to understand each applicant. We want to hear their voice. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question. No, we don't. We want it to be something that's really personal about you. We want to understand you, the applicant. If you think listing out your achievements in your resume is the best way for us to understand you, that's a choice. If there's a particular aspect to yourself that you'd like to highlight, it's a space for you to tell us, the reviewers, I say us, I mean all the reviewers, about yourself. Whatever aspect of yourself you want to highlight that's relevant to an internship program like SIP. I'm not sure I'm answering your question, Andrew.
I think you are. Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Of course. Okay. And if we've answered your question, feel free to take your hand down from the, using Zoom, using the reaction button. Okay. I think Eric, you're next, and then Anna.
Yes. So for that, the ratio, like $50,000 for financial support at the threshold. So that is based on AGI, right? AGI.
That's correct. Adjusted gross income.
Okay.
Not artificial general intelligence? That's my wrong. I'm sorry.
And how about the asset or properties, stocks, money in the bank? These are not considered?
No, we use AGI. AGI.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anna, can you unmute now?
I can. Sorry about that. I actually had to
No problem.
update my Zoom to get it to work. That was so weird. Sorry about that.
No
My
worries.
question is, I'm trying to figure out if I need to repeat information between the skills section, essay 1, essay 2, personal statement, or will the reader be looking at the whole thing together? So something that I wrote in essay one that read, like they'll read for essay two also. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yeah. They'll have access to all your information all at once, so you don't need to refer back to the same information in both essays.
Okay, because like the two topics I'm looking at are like kind of related, so I don't want to look like that I'm missing some information in, say, like essay one that I cover in essay two. Like I'm just trying to like maximize the words because there's so few words there.
Right. No, I think, as you said, Anand, I think everyone, the reviewer is going to read both essays.
Both essays.
So there's.
Okay,
yeah, they would have,
you.
in front of them.
And Lindsay and Anand, are the updated housing and shuttle costs listed on our webpage, or do we still have old numbers for that?
A very good question. They haven't been confirmed. Those prices are last year's prices.
Okay, and this was in in response to a question that Mira asked. The cost of staying on campus, I believe, last year was 600 for a week if you're staying for the 5-week option, and 875 for the 7-week option if you're staying weekends as well.
If you scroll down to the program details, the program costs are here.
These
These numbers will be confirmed next week, but these were the prices last year.
They may go up a little bit depending on what conference services charges us. Mm-hmm. So that's what it was last year.
Yeah, they typically increase like by 3% every year. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's good to know, Lindsay. That's very.
Okay. All right.
And those costs include, Prabhat, the 4750 is just for academic part of the program. It does not include living costs, no. So the housing costs you just saw, 600 for the 5-week program, 875 for the 7-day program, include housing and meals. Includes, 3 meals a day.
Yeah. Priya?
Hi, my question is on behalf of my son because he's at school right now. Now, I did send a message to Roger directly, but I just thought I'll ask here for the benefit of everyone else as well. So his 2 research areas are overlapping, which is applied AI and CS, and he's concerned about not having 2 very unique essays for the 2 areas. So now he wants to understand if these essays will be read by just one committee, or would they be read by 2 different mentors? And how would it impact him if both the essays are going to be really overlapping a lot? Because, of course, AI is a subdiscipline of CS.
Exactly. I don't think it's a problem that there's overlap. The same committee will be reading the 2. If he, obviously students who are interested in AI and CS, they can write in their essay, here's one possible strategy is you could say, okay, I've selected AI as my top choice, but I'm going to, in the essay, you could say, please also consider me for CSE projects, and then use the second subject area for something that's different that the student may also be interested in.
Okay, even if he hasn't, so let's say most of his prior interest or research experience has been in AI related research projects, but he's also interested in something else in CS, which he had absolutely no experience in. Can he still write about that in the second essay?
Absolutely, you can. I mean, it's very common for our students to venture into areas they haven't tried before. And I think, with most SIP projects, not all, but with most SIP projects, there's a lot of data, there's a lot of information, students are coding, there's a lot of analytics and coding aspects, patterns, trends, there's a lot of that in, again, not all projects, but many projects in SIP are of that ilk. So, if your son reads the, let's say last year's project descriptions, and there's a lot of detail in the project description, so it'll take some time to read through them. He'll see that, this kind of data analysis aspect of projects is quite common in SIP.
Okay. And one more question was about housing. If they're opting to stay Monday through Friday and they are, they're required back on campus on Monday morning, is it okay if they were dropped off on Sunday evening, or they can only be back on Monday morning?
It's okay to be dropped off on Sunday evening. The meals that are available to students who are in 5-day housing are Sunday dinner through Friday lunch.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
It's perfectly fine to be dropped off on Sunday night. We don't have shuttle service that night on the weekends, but they could also opt to take the Monday morning shuttle in. Those are the options.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anand.
The question that I have is, right, so is this offered in partnership with the UCSC, or this is a offered directly by UCSC, or it is which one of this is this?
We are an official program within UCSC. And that's a great question, Anand. I mean, because when programs start out, they aren't sometimes official programs of the university. This started out as a small initiative of mine, and at that point, it wasn't an official program. Now it is, in the sense that we work with universities' campus legal counsel to set our policies. We are an official department under UCSC's Silicon Valley extension. So in that sense, our email address, our website has a ucsc.edu to it. We needed to be official before we could even have those domains.
Got it. So then all those lab mentors, everyone is from UCSC. So you're a full-time staff of UCSC, this team.
Most of our mentors are PhD students at UCSC. Most of our primary mentors are.
Okay. So you're affiliated with UCSC.
We are part of UCSC. I mean, the students, the dorms are at UCSC. The mentors,
right, but it is not run by UCSC.
Oh, we are all members. We are all employees of UCSC. All of us are. I am. Anand is. Lindsay is. Everyone is.
And every single service that we provide is through another UCSC campus partner. So we have our conference services is a UCSC office, and so we work with them to kind of set up our dorm space is also on UCSC's campus. So everything we do is UCSC. We are UCSC.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the last.
Yeah, sorry, Anand. Just to add one thing to what Lindsay said, is every university works with contractors. We work with a contractor that provides the payment page. It's provided by Iris for application portals. We work with a contractor that serves the application itself, the application that Anand was demonstrating earlier. So those are examples where UCSC is contracting with an outside vendor.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And the last question is, right, what is your acceptance rate and the admit rate, right? The two
last
of them.
Last year, the number was in the low 20%. It was between 20 and 25. We don't know exactly what it'll be this year because we don't yet know what the final number of completed applications will be. At the rate things are going, it looks like the number of applications will be higher than they were last year, and the number of available spots will be comparable to what they were last year. So if I had to guess, I would say that the acceptance rate is likely to be 20% or a little bit lower than that this year.
Okay, thank you.
Nora?
Hello. So my question is, can I work on my extended essay during the SIP program? And by extended essay, I mean that in the IB, we do an extended essay in a chosen subject. So I'm doing mine in physics, and in physics, I have to conduct some experiments. So can I do these experiments during the program or no?
Yes, you can. I mean, if you will require lab facilities, that's something that may be more problematic, maybe more complicated to arrange. but certainly working on your extended essay to the extent that it lines up with your SIP project is a discussion you would have to have with your mentor once you're placed in a project.
Okay, thank you. And my next question is, does asking for my English teacher to write my recommendation letter decrease my chances of getting in?
No, I don't. You should ask a teacher who knows you the best and can present you in the best light. It doesn't matter what subject they've taught you.
Okay, thank you.
Eric?
Thank you. Now, you usually only look at the 10th grade and 11th grade transcript when they admit students for college admission, and then ignoring 9th grade and 12th grade scores. So will UCSC do the same thing for this SIP application?
No, we look at the available high school transcript, and for students who are applying from 8th grade, which is the earliest you can apply, we look at their middle school transcript. We look at whatever the available transcript is. It's not exactly the same as college admission, per se.
I see. And,
we don't put a lot of emphasis on transcripts in any case. Is one thing I wanted to add.
So to provide at least 2 years, right? So if you, or for example, it's a 10th grader need to provide the transcripts for 10th grade, 9th grade. How about the 8th grade and 7th grade or the previous years?
They don't need to provide previous years, no.
Only 2 years will be enough.
Yeah.
Okay. I have another question. So how do we track the status of the reference? Have they already submitted or not? Is there a way we can tell so that we don't keep reminding the reference to
I can
send
answer
the
that
letter?
one.
Kind of bothering.
Absolutely. Interns can't see the portal that the teachers have, so feel free to ask the teacher directly, or you can email the SIP staff and we can confirm where they are in the process for you.
Thank you. So we have to ask. There's no way we can tell from the online system whether.
Yeah, interns can't see it themselves.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Rajesh?
Yeah, so I have another question on the financial aid, right? For getting a financial aid, you said we need to submit 2023 tax returns, right?
Yeah.
But if we have not done that yet, and we plan to do it, probably the deadline is 31st March, right? And I plan to do it later. So what's the alternate?
If you don't have your last year's 2023 tax information, then the previous year's 2022.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So can we submit like 2023's W-2? That'll work, or you would prefer a 2022 tax return?
I would combine the two and submit it as one document.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Priya?
Yeah, so my question is about the transcripts. I read in the meeting chat that Raja was asking for official transcripts only. But when my son downloaded, he asked the counselor and he downloaded his transcript from the high school portal. It says unofficial transcript. And when he asked the counselor, she said that the school did not provide the official transcript. He would have to get it through parchment, and then that would go directly to the college requesting it. So I'm just trying to understand how would he go about getting the official transcript then?
Uploading an unofficial transcript is completely fine.
Should be fine. Yeah. I know what you're saying exactly, Priya. The way the school download, I mean, it's not considered official when the student has downloaded it. It's only considered official when the school sends it directly to college. For us, a student downloaded transcript is just fine.
Okay.
Shouldn't be unofficial in the sense of it should not be something that the student types up. If it's something that the student downloads from the school, that's just fine for us.
Okay, perfect. That answers my question. Thank you.
Fiona's iPhone?
Hi. This might have been answered before, but I was wondering when we're emailing for the fee waiver, what would you like us to put in? Like just one sentence about like, hi, I would like to ask for financial aid, and then like the second sentence is like, I have provided this form.
Yeah, that
That
works.
works? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Time check. We have 7 more minutes till the top of the hour. We can do a few more questions. But thank you for joining. If you need to leave, please feel free to leave the call. Caitlin?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I just wanted to ask, when SIP is accepting applications, do you have a stronger preference for 10th and 11th graders? Since I know a few summer camps, they have clarified that they would prefer sophomore or junior.
Roger, would you like to take this one?
Caitlin, sorry, I was answering a question in the chat. Could you please repeat? My apologies.
Yeah, when SIP is accepting applications, I just wanted to know, do you have like a stronger preference for 10th and 11th graders? Since I do know a few summer camps that have said on their website, we prefer 10th and 11th.
You know, we've certainly admitted, when you say current 10th and 11th, we've admitted 8th and 9th graders in substantial numbers in the past. You know, if it ultimately comes down to, you know, there's one spot available, we're considering 2 students, sometimes it becomes a factor that the 11th graders, it's their last chance to take part in SIP, and, you know, that can become a factor. There isn't a very strong preference by grade.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Again, I have a couple of questions on the chat to say, you know, there are students who are not going to be 14 on the start date of the program, you know, in some case by 1 week, in some case by 2 months. Our legal department is very strict. This is across campus, across all programs. Students have to be 14 before they can participate in any UCSC sponsored program. Unfortunately, there's no flexibility around that. It's not in our hands at all. And, you know, I don't even know what the full extent of, you know, reasons are why they have this rule, but there's a very strict rule across all of UCSC that students have to be at least 14 before they can participate in any UCSC sponsored program. So on the bright side, there are, you know, 4 years ahead of you where the student will be able to participate. That is, once they turn 14, once they turn 15, once they turn 16, once they turn 17. So, you know, this is nothing personal. This is something that we are bound by the rules of the university. And I'm answering a question, 2 questions that were on the chat.
Thank you. All right. Oh, Caitlin.
Yeah, I had another question. There was, I think something on your website said that you would specify which projects require you to be 16 and up, but I haven't. Will you be updating the page like for that or no?
If there's a special note, that would be under the project description, the 2024 research projects page. And then when you click on a project, and you'll be able to see more information. That's where 16 and up would be listed if it's a requirement for that project. All right. I do have a hard stop at the top of the hour. Are there any last questions we can get to before we call it a session? And if not, thank you all for being here. We're excited about SIP 2024, 11 days to go. And then the fun part, reading all your lovely applications. And then we hope to get to you by April 26th for the first round. All right. Does anyone have a one-on-one question or would like one-on-one help with their application? Just raise your hand.
Mark just answered your question in the chat.
Okay. Very cool. Okay. Anant, do you have a one-on-one question?
So how does those one-on-one questions work? Like, we had to call you offline and get some help.
No,
we would
we
have just
ask you to stay back until for a few more minutes, and when others have left, then we will answer your question one-on-one on the Zoom call itself.
Okay.
Okay. With that, thank you all for joining. If you don't have any more questions, well,
Anand, do you have to leave? I can stay on.
Yeah, I'll assign someone else as the host, and then, yeah, we can just start putting people back into the waiting room. If you don't have your hand up, and then we'll go one by one.
Anand, while you're waiting, Joseph, if you have a question, please feel free to ask. Okay, Lindsay, I'm happy to stay on a little bit longer.
I have 1 p.m.
Yes, this is Joseph. I would prefer to do a one-on-one question. I don't want to pose my question now.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you.
Please hang on. What
I'll
we'll
stay
do is I can put you in. If I don't know if am I host right now, Lindsay or Anand?
You are. You should be.
I was never made co-host, so I couldn't make him co-host. I don't think.
Lindsay Lover, you are a co-host in my book.
Wasn't allowing.
That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Lindsay as a co-host also.
Roger, you should be a host. I've given up my host ability.
Am I?
Let's double check it. I'm gonna leave the call, and you should still be able to.
I'm a host now. I see that. And Lindsay, I see you as a co-host. Okay.
Okay, but
Lindsay,
I can't.
really?
I just can't make him co-host. It's not giving me the option.
No problem. I'm
Because
already
Lindsay,
host,
he is a
so
host.
I'm okay.
But you are a host. Okay, never mind.
Can you move the others into a waiting room, and then I will leave the call. And then Raja, you should be able to see the waiting room. Let's say we have Anant on the call, put Joseph and Shreya in the waiting room as well, and then bring them back one by
I
one.
will do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Elizabeth asked, the application need to be submitted before a letter of recommendation is sent to a teacher. But once you submit part 2 of the application, I think your teacher gets an email. I think.
Everybody in the waiting room for you.
Okay, thank you.
Who do you want? Who was first in line so I can make sure?
Anand was first in line, then Joseph, and then Shreya, I assume you have a one-on-one question for us as well?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is just take these questions in turn. Anand was the first hand I saw, and then Joseph was the second I saw, and then Shreya, you'll be the third. And so what Lindsay is doing is moving folks to the waiting room, and once we finish your question, Anand, then Joseph, I'll bring you back into the main call, and Shreya will do that for you third.
All right, I'm going to put
Thank
Joseph.
you for your patience.
And then I'm going to put Shreya in the waiting room.
Okay, thank you, Lindsay, and I'm happy to stay on and answer the questions.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I have another event meeting that I have to. But
No problem. No problem.
I'll see her.
No, and let's keep our one-on-one today. There's no need to cancel it. I did want to give you an update on things.
Oh, okay. I think I might have a new meeting during our time.
No worries. No worries then. We catch up.
Yeah, I'll let you know afterwards. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good. Take care.
Bye.
All right, Anand, the floor is yours. How can I answer your question?
Thank you, Raja. Right, again, as you can figured out, right, I'm the parent. My son is playing lacrosse.
Okay.
Because he has a club, right? I think he started again. I don't know where he's with the application right now. So let me also turn on my video, so hopefully you can see me. Yeah,
I can see you. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah. So he's in lacrosse. That's the reason he asked me to attend this, right? And I think he might have already filled the application. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But that aside, right? He's a 9th grader. Okay, and he was looking for research opportunities, and he stumbled upon this program and a few others, right? So Raja, like what I wanted to ask is, right, what do you look for, like, especially in a 9th grader, because he has all A's, but it is only 1 year of course, right? so I want to set a realistic expectation for him, because right now, he's enrolled, he got admission in another program and he says, no, I want to go only research. So I'm trying to understand the real likelihood of a ninth grader getting into a research.
You heard that the acceptance rate is, it's 20%, and we tend to favor a little bit students who are, for whom it's their last year of eligibility. So I don't want to present a falsely optimistic, scenario here. Ultimately, that 20% number that we talked about, again, it was slightly higher than 20% last year. I think it'll be 20% or slightly lower this year. It also, that doesn't tell the full story. In addition to that, what matters a lot, what matters a huge amount is what subject area the student is interested in, what availability there is. There are certain topics that get very clogged, in the sense that there's very few projects available, there's lots of demand, and the opposite. There are project areas that students are not as heavily oversubscribed, and their chances of getting in are much greater. So it really depends a lot on your son's chosen subject areas out of what we offer,
Yeah, he was looking more in terms of engineering and medicine, science related ones, which I would think is the most in demand.
It'd be very oversubscribed.
Yeah. So in that case, what should my recommendation to him is, right? Because, we have to put in the deposit on the other one. Should we just consider this next year? Like, what would your realistic
That would be my suggestion. There's nothing like a bird in hand. There's nothing like that. If I were a parent making this decision, that's what I would probably do. I know that that's it means either, if he does get an offer from SIP, then it means foregoing the deposit and then considering this, or you could say that, look, if he does get an admission offer, you could say at that point, look, I've already committed to another program, you can decline us. It's programs are becoming so competitive, so difficult to get into. It's great that he has access to, that he's got an offer from something. I would take it. That would be my instinct.
Right. But then, I saw your profile, it was so impressive, the meanwhile, in this call, because, it looks like, you're from Princeton University. Actually, we are literally 10 minutes away from Princeton.
See. I was a graduate student there for my many years ago. This was 85 to 89. I was there.
Yeah.
I did a couple of postdocs there. But ultimately, what subject your son is going to work on may or may not overlap with my research and what I offer. But no, thank you for those kind words.
Yeah. So which programs are so for example, right, I'm looking at it the other way, right? Okay, so yeah, 10th and 11th graders is going to be more towards on that side. But as a ninth grader, is there an area that you recommend that he apply for, which is going to be beneficial for him as well as?
It really depends on his interests. It really depends on his interests. I know that social sciences, art, humanities, these are new to SIP. And, because we are still called the science internship program, people assume we're all about science and engineering. So lots of times students who are interested in these other subjects haven't found out about us. Because of that, we're not as oversubscribed in those, in arts, humanities, and social sciences as we are in sciences and engineering. That may change over the years, but right now that's the situation.
Right. Okay. I think, so social science and arts and humanities would be a better chance.
And not to be as oversubscribed. Yeah, not as heavily.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. And the last one is, okay, so this funding, right? So the funding this is I know, I'm not planning to apply for financial aid, but just out of curiosity, right? So the financial aid is being provided by UCSC, or it is this program itself funds?
So we raise money as a program. We raise money for financial aid. And, that's how we make it work.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And,
Okay, you raise money like, so it's distributed from within the students.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Yeah. So
we raise
yeah.
money specifically for scholarships, for SIP, but we also raise money for our umbrella organization, which is called CREST, Creating Equity in STEAM.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, is there a better way to another way to reach out to you?
You can reach me by email. Probably this is the easiest way.
Okay.
And of course, our program email is also a good way to reach us.
Yeah, I found your phone number as well as the email on the site.
Okay.
So this team is what does the admission review? Is it like
No, it's a much bigger team, much bigger team. You only saw 3 of us from a much bigger team.
Okay.
We have many mentors. Last year there were 121 mentors, just to give you an example.
Okay.
126 mentors last year. So
right, and the mentors also gets like the mentors are all like UCSC research students, and they just volunteer their time, or it is their compensation?
No, we pay mentors. This is we pay mentors over the summer, and out of the program fees that we collect from students.
Got it. But it's only UCSC students, not somebody from outside.
That's
got it. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alan. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Yeah.
Hi, Joseph. Thank you for your patience. You're muted.
Hi, Raja. Thank you.
I can hear you now.
Thank you. My daughter is Carolina Porcelli. She's an 11th grader. She was probably one of your first applicants. She finished and submitted her application Saturday, March 2nd. And that's the good news. The bad news is at the time, she had not attended any of these programs. And the 2 essays she wrote were very specific to the project. And she's later learned, both from your website as well as these programs, that was a mistake. So she's rewritten them, resubmitted them, updated the application on St. Patrick's Day, this past Sunday. But when she went to part 4, I was next to her and she wanted to certify it. It said it had already been certified. Obviously, she did that on March 2nd. She's worried that the new essays are not going to be uploaded properly. So you'll be looking at those old essays from March 2nd.
Give me there are a couple of ways to do this. If she emails us the content of the 2 essays, we can, on our administrative end, make sure that those are updated in her application. She may not even need to do that. If she gives us the essay and we look and see nothing has changed, then she's all set.
Okay. Obviously, she didn't do that because she was worried, and I looked at the email she sent on Sunday, St. Patrick's Day, and she didn't. I told her maybe she should have put the essays there, but she didn't want to. She wanted to follow the rules and said they had to be uploaded, so she didn't do that.
It's okay.
So you don't have them.
Yeah, in this case, she's tried to upload them, and she's just trying to make sure that we have the correct content. It's fine for her to email that. She's welcome to. I'll put my email in the chat. She's welcome to include me in that. You can CC me, and any one of us can go in and check.
Perfect. Thank you. So that was her primary question. I got it. We have a younger daughter named Isabella. She's in 9th grade. Carolina's an 11th grader. She's also applying. It's one of the few programs that would allow her to attend. She will be 15 at the time. Okay. And will there be a disadvantage that both girls will be applying? They have different interests, so they won't be applying to the same specific research areas. Will there be a disadvantage to have both? Because we're most concerned about our older daughter because it is her last year.
No, there isn't any kind of, no, she won't be disadvantaging her older sister, not at all. But thank you for asking.
Very good. Okay. If neither of them or only one of them is admitted, so the worst case scenario, either neither or only one, is there a wait list? Or because we would love for them both to go, and we don't need financial aid, so I'd pay for both of them, obviously. But I just want to know, is there a way, or do we explain to me how waitlist works? Go ahead.
Absolutely. No, thank you for asking this, Joseph. we do have a wait list. So when we make admission offers initially, we maintain a very long wait list. And I say initially because the first round of admission offers go out in late April. April 26th will be the first round. And it's the first round. It's not the only round. It's not the entire list for two reasons. One is when we make that initial round of offers, some students turn us down in favor of other programs that they may have already committed to. Some plans may have changed. There are a variety of reasons why we get turned down. Roughly 20% of the people turn us down. So if we're trying to fill a program that has 400 students, we have to make something like 480 offers. Last year, in fact, we made 483 offers when we had 394 students in the program. So 20-ish% of the students turn us down. A second reason is our mentors, who are PhD students, in many cases, exact place that their research will be in. I'm just going to put Bushra in the waiting room. Just give me a moment, please. Hey, Bushra, I'm going to put you in the waiting room because we're getting close to the end of this session. I can bring you back from the waiting room in just a few minutes, if that's okay. Sorry about that, Joseph. So what happens is there are several cases, including my own PhD students, where it's not clear where their research is going to be over the summer because, there's a few more months before, we want SIP research to be relevant and cutting edge. We don't know where that cutting edge is going to be during the summer. We don't know whether, when the summer arrives, the project will be at a stage where it's a good fit for SIP, for high school students to get trained. If the learning curve is way too steep at that point, or the project is too far along, it's nearly completed, the learning curve is too shallow, there's not much to do, it's not a good fit to SIP. Because of this, certainly through the month of April and even into part of May, new projects come in. So new slots open up, and we use the wait list to populate both of those things, students who decline their offer and new spots that open.
Wonderful. Last question, Raja. Thank you. My daughter has noticed that she's been looking at your program for months, and she's waited until the opening day, March 1st. Fine, that's how she was ready. But there's been no new projects added that I've seen, nor has she seen for weeks. And the website says that new projects will be added weekly. I have not seen a one added in weeks. Are new projects being added, or?
They are being added. Let me quickly share my screen with you.
Sure.
Let me do that. Okay, I am. Just give me one moment. I'll share my screen. Okay, so I'm looking at the 2024 page. Under anthropology,
I see it's been added. So you must have had some today because there was 21. Now it says 33. It looks like some were added today. There was 21.
Might have been added today.
Weeks.
It was showing 21 for a long time. You're right.
Yes, right.
We've been vetting them. There should be 33 right now.
I see that.
We're almost to 60 in terms of projects that have come in. We want to make sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed in terms of mental logistics, etc. We try to do our best due diligence before the project is posted, and that's slowing things down a little bit.
I'm an attorney, Raja. I understand about T's crossed and I's dotted. I understand.
One of our colleagues who wasn't on the call, she was in a car accident a few days ago. Life happens. So this is one of the things that's been impacted is the rate at which we're posting projects onto the.
I see. I hope she's better. My younger daughter's interested in math, and on your first Zoom call 2 weeks ago, you said, I heard you say personally that they were hoping to have a math. They had none, and it looks like they still don't have any.
Don't have any. There are 3 mentors who we spoke to about 10 days ago. They're thinking of co-mentoring a project in math, and math has never been part of SIP before. But of course, having said that, there is a lot of math embedded in some of the other subjects, of course.
Right. No problem. Well, I want to commend you. My older daughter has applied to maybe 15 different programs, and none of them, you are number one when it comes to educating and communicating with the parents and the students. my hat to you. It's absolutely incredible. None of the other 14, including Stanford, Princeton, MIT, very big name schools, none of them do what you do. So I want to commend you and your team. It's fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Joseph. That's very good to hear. We're in our 16th year, and I'd like to think we have a system going. But it's all about personal touch. We are very much about we are a service organization, of course, as a program. I love it that that you and your daughters are so enthusiastic about this program. I really hope we can make something work. Do your daughters, are you in the Bay Area?
We are in the Bay Area, the Tampa Bay area, Tampa Bay, Florida. So both girls would be at UCSC. I personally visited your campus in November of 2022, and it is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. And that's one of the reasons I've told both girls how beautiful it is. I spent the whole day there with my best friend, who's a physician. He lives in Los Angeles, and we spent the day on your campus together. It was fantastic. Beautiful.
It is a lovely campus. I never tire of it. I'm completing my 30th year on campus this year.
Wow.
I don't tire of it. If you have it, I'm sure you've seen the Salvador Dali Museum in St. Petersburg. That's one of my favorite museums in the whole world.
Well, I hope it works out for both of our girls, especially Carolina. She's an excellent student. And like I said, I was hoping that they would number the applicants, because I'm sure she would have been near number one in terms of submitting anyway.
We can sort our applications by
That's good. Please do that. Please do that. Thank you, Raja. Have a nice day.
Of course. Take care.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Joseph. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Shreya.
Hello.
Thank you for waiting patiently. I know it's, you waited for a while. I'm just going to move Arzibayev to the waiting room. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead. If you have questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to ask some questions about the essays. So like for the personal statement versus the research area questions, so for the personal statement, right now I'm kind of talking about my experiences and what got me interested in the first place, and just past experiences I have and what I hope to achieve at the program. And then so for the research areas, specific questions, how should it be different? Should I just talk about why, should I talk about experiences that I have that relate specifically to that area, or what?
Yes, that's what I would do.
Interests me?
I would make those subject specific as to why you're interested in those subjects, what your experiences might be in those subjects. Whereas the personal essay is more about your journey, more generally, why you're interested in an internship program like ours. It's really...
Okay, so then the personal statement is less about the topics and more about just the program itself?
Program and you and how you relate as a young person to the program.
Okay. So I'm talking about my dad's disease and how that sparked my interest. So would I write about that more? Do you think I should write about that in the personal statement or the research area?
There isn't a simple answer to that. We've seen examples of both. There isn't. The main thing is the essays will be read.
Yeah.
And they'll be evaluated. So.
Okay. And they're all being read at together, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly it.
Okay, and then also just for the additional information question, would you say to add, just to write the other essays first, and then just add anything else there if there's anything extra, or is it a specific type? Okay.
No, I mean that's free space in case there are other things that you would like us to know. Sorry for my phone ringing in the background.
No problem. Okay. Yeah, that's actually all I had to ask.
Okay, thank you, Shreya. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, Arzubayev. Am I saying your name correctly? I know it's very late for you. I wasn't sure if you still wanted to ask me any questions, but feel free to email me if anything comes up, okay? I'll end the call.